Hi, my name is Amy Ricker, and I am the Assistant Director of Special Education at the Northwest Kansas Educational Service Center located in Oakley, Kansas. I am married to my husband, Tate, who's a retired sheriff's deputy and took over the family farm. We have two wonderful teenage boys, Wyatt, who is a sophomore, and Waylon, who is an 8th grader. They are both very active in many different activities. Wyatt, our oldest, drives electric car, which is a class and activity, extracurricular activity that is offered in Scott City. And he also plays golf. Waylon plays about every sport, swims in the summer. The only sport he doesn't do is basketball. Both our boys are very active in 4-H shooting sports, mainly trap and skeet. So, as I said, I work for the Northwest Kansas Educational Service Center. A little bit about our service center is we're located on I-70 in Northwest Kansas. We service 19 school districts. In our service center, we provide special education. We have a Tiny K program, Head Start, early childhood, parents as teachers. We have audiology. We have assistive technology. We have blind and visually impaired services that we can provide. We have approximately 1,700 students on IEPs. We have 150 certified staff and approximately 125 classified staff. So, like I said, we're spread out through 19 school districts. We go from the northwest corner by the Nebraska-Colorado line, clear over to Hill City, down to Waukene and back through. We pick up Healy, which is down in Lane County, and then we swing back up and we catch Oakley. Monument has our Second Chance School. We have Sharon Springs, Winona, Weskin, back up to the top again. So we have a lot of miles that we cover in our service center area. My education, I started with getting my bachelor's in elementary education, K through 9, at Fort Hays State. And I started teaching regular education in Salina in 1998. I taught 2 years there, and then we moved. My husband went to work for the Sheriff's Department in Logan County, and so we moved out here to Western Kansas so he could be closer to his family, and I started teaching special education in Colby. So I went back and got my master's in special education from Fort Hays State. Along the way, my husband transferred, and we moved to Scott City, where we still currently live, and I taught special education there for 14 years. I was the gifted facilitator, the assistive technology coordinator for High Plains Educational Cooperative, and then I moved back to the other end of the spectrum and went to teaching special ed in preschool, first grade, and kindergarten for the last 9 years that I was teaching there. While I was teaching, I went and got my building level endorsement, and 2 years ago, I accepted this position as the Assistant Director of Special Ed. So I have a total of 23 years in education at this point. My goals are to eventually take over as Director of Special Education here at the Service Center, as the current director has talked about, getting closer to retirement. So my short-term goals are to finish these last 2 classes and taking Practicum and Finance this semester. And in the summer, we'll plan to take my praxis. And then I also, just to survive working with staff, to help them to survive the pandemic. So what is going on at NKESC right now? Well, at this time of year, we start doing our spring evaluations with teachers. So I put a lot of miles on the car, driving to different schools, evaluating our teachers, doing observations, having conversations, sitting in on IEPs and things like that. It's also the time of year that we start preparing for extended school year. And this year, that's going to look probably a lot different because of the second round of CARES money that's going into the school districts. We're going to have to hold off on what our ESY will look like for students with significant needs because I know the big push is for that CARES money to go into summer school for districts. So waiting to see what a lot of our districts do before we can make our final plans for ESY on students. Of course, just trying to retain staff. We have concerns there. We always have a turnover. We are in Western Kansas, so retaining staff is hard. And especially with the pandemic, I think it'll be even harder. So we'll start working on vacancies, career fairs, and things like that. This is also the time we start getting ready to do our buy-ins with districts. And what that means is in a service center, our districts can pick and choose, kind of like a buffet, what services they want to buy from us, whether they want the whole special ed, which includes the teacher, the paras, OTs, PTs, psychs, if they want parts and pieces and things like that. So we start having those conversations and doing buy-ins with our districts to figure out what their needs are going to be and the cost and things like that. And of course, we still have COVID that we're dealing with. So just everything that goes with the daily piece of that. I'm in education. I feel like I'm right where I need to be, even through this pandemic. I've never questioned why I got into education. I love what I do. I love working with kids. I especially love special education. It's a mystery. The kids are really cool. Special ed isn't everybody's cup of tea, and so I feel very blessed that it is something that I have found to be my passion. So I look forward to diving into this last round of classes and doing it from the special ed standpoint, which will make it kind of interesting for doing some of the things. But I look forward to the challenge, and I look forward to getting to know everybody.